My beloved child, stop right now. Do not move past this moment, because this is not a normal message. And if you feel even a slight urge to ignore it, that is exactly why you must not. This is serious, more serious than you realized, and what is about to be revealed cannot wait any longer. There is a reason you were brought here, before this exact moment in time. And if you delay, if you scroll away, if you tell yourself, I will come back later, you may miss the very window that was open for you, and once that window closes, it does not reopen the same way again, my child. Listen carefully, because this is not just guidance. This is a warning wrapped in mercy. Before this message continues, type Amen if you believe God brought you here right now for a reason. There is something you have done recently, something you thought was small, something you convinced yourself was harmless, something you pushed aside and said, it's okay, it doesn't matter. But in the unseen, it mattered more than you know, and that is why things have shifted around you. That is why something feels off. That is why the peace you once had feels distant, because you stepped into a space you were not meant to stay in, and you ignored the quiet signal that tried to stop you. And now heaven is stepping in louder, not to destroy you, but to stop you before something greater is affected. Because if this continues, it will begin to block what was already prepared for you. Do not brush this off. Do not minimize it, because the seriousness you feel right now is real. This is the moment where everything can either be corrected or carried further into delay. And you have been given a choice, not through fear, but through awareness, because what is ahead of you is too important to lose over something that can still be fixed, but only if you act within this moment. Comment yes if your heart is already recognizing what this is about. There was a moment, and you remember it now, a moment where you felt something inside you say, don't do this. A pause of a hesitation, a quiet resistance, but you moved forward anyway, maybe out of pressure, maybe out of emotion, maybe out of impatience, and the moment you did, something shifted, not loudly, but deeply, and since then, things have not felt aligned the same way, and you tried to ignore it, you tried to move on, but your spirit has not been at rest since that decision. This is why this message had to come now, not tomorrow, not next week, not later, tonight, now. Because there is a timing attached to this correction, and if you delay it, the path ahead becomes heavier, slower, more complicated than it was ever meant to be. But if you respond now, if you realign now, what feels blocked will begin to move again. What feels delayed will begin to open again. Type Amen if you receive this correction with understanding, and listen closely, because this is where the urgency deepens. This is not just about what already happening. This is about what could happen next if nothing changes, because there is something connected to your future that is sensitive to alignment, something that requires clarity, obedience, awareness, and right now, you are standing at a point where one decision will either protect egg or push it further away, and heaven will not force you, but it will warn you. And this is that warning. You have been feeling it, that subtle discomfort, that inner knowing that something is not sitting right, that sitting right needs to be corrected. And you tried to distract yourself from it. You tried to stay busy. You tried to move forward without addressing ache. But it followed you quietly, persistently, because it was never meant to be ignored. It was meant to be ignored. It was meant to be faced. And this is your moment to face it without fear, without shame, but with awareness and courage. Right, 11, if you trust that this moment is happening for your protection. Dear family, before we continue, I want to share something important. Recently our channel was demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive earnings from these videos. Yet every message here takes many hours of prayer, writing, recording, and editing. Our mission is to bring hope and encouragement to those who feel lost, lonely, or overwhelmed. Without support, it becomes very difficult for us to keep creating these messages and continue running this channel. If these messages have ever helped or inspired you, you can support this mission through the links in the description or the pinned comment. Buy me a coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue creating these messages and reaching people who need them the most. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. And it is not late. Now come back into stillness, because what you are about to understand will bring clarity. The reasoning that had you feel so serious message came and was measurement that began a moment something your name, something that is bear the reading to arrive, and with you realized there. But that's you made it case you took, it shifted you were just enough to require courage before correction, just did before position enough to your push, and just you made close you made it was expert version of you were getting mistake. Company of Missile Pair prepared with for closing of this weapon fears it is nice. It is not late. This can move forward safely. This is not anger the way you understand it, P. This is divine seriousness. Is attention. This is protection that refuses to stay silent when you are about to move in the wrong direction, because what is coming in your life cannot meet you. In confusion, it cannot meet you. In distraction, it must meet you in alignment. And that is why this moment matters so much. And here is what you need to hear. Clearly you have not lost anything yet. Nothing has been taken from you, nothing has been reassigned, but you are standing at the edge of a moment where delay becomes real if nothing changes. And why this message feels urgent, because it is not to scare you, but to wake you, to bring you back before anything slips further out of alignment. Type 777 if you believe something is shifting for you right now, because even as you listen, something within you is already adjusting, already returning, already becoming aware again. Do not overcomplicate this. The correction you need to make is not hitting it, is something you already know, something you have been avoiding, some you kept saying, "I'll fix it later." But later has arrived, and this is that moment. And once you acknowledge it, once you correct it, once you realign your intention and your direction, you will feel the shift almost immediately, a lightness, a clarity, a sense of peace returning where there was tension. I think it was amachne. Stay with this message, do not rush away, because what is happening right now is not just information. It is alignment in real time, it is awareness being restored, it is clarity being given before the next step unfolds. And if you stay present, you will not miss what comes next, because something is still waiting for you, something that was never canceled, only paused, only held back, until you were ready again, and now you are being brought back into readiness, not perfectly, but consciously, and that is enough. Declare, "I receive," in the comments if you accept this correction, because what felt like a dangerous mistake is now becoming the very moment that saves you from a greater delay, and what felt like seriousness is actually protection guiding you back exactly where you need to beg right on time. And now listen even more closely, because what is unfolding in this very moment is deeper than you first understood, my child. The seriousness you felt at the beginning was not just about stopping you. It was about preparing you, because there is something already set in motion that cannot be delayed any further. And this is why you were pulled into this message before the day closes, before the clock reaches that exact moment you were not meant to miss, before 157 p.m. arrives, and this window of awareness begins to shift. This is not pressure. This is precision. This is timing aligning itself around you, not against you. What you thought was simply a mistake was actually a signal, a disruption that revealed where your attention had drifted. And now that you see it, now that you feel it, you are no longer in the same position. You were just moments ago. Something has already changed within you. Something has already been corrected in your awareness. And that is why even now, there is a quiet sense of clarity beginning to replace the confusion that followed you earlier, my beloved. Do not underestimate this shift, because it is the beginning of something greater than you expected. There are things that were held back, not because you were denied, but because you were not yet aligned to receive them fully. And if they had come earlier, they would not have stayed. They would not have settled into your life the way they are meant to now. And this is why this moment matters so deeply, because what is coming next requires stability, requires awareness, requires a version of you that is fully present, not distracted, not divided, not uncertain. Stay here, stay present. Do not rush ahead of this moment, because what is being revealed is still unfolding. And every word you hear is building something within you that you will need for what comes next. Comment yes if your spirit feels this shift happening right now, because your awareness is no longer where it was before. And that is not small. That is the beginning of alignment returning. You have been asking for clarity, even if you did not say it out loud, even if it was just a quiet thought, a silent question, a feeling that something needed to make sense again. And now, that clarity is arriving, not all at once, but piece by piece, in a way that you can understand, in a way that you can carry forward without confusion, because what is being built now is not temporary understanding, it is lasting direction. And listening, because this is where the truth becomes even more important. The thing you thought you lost, it was never fully taken from you. It was held, protected, preserved in a way you could not see, because it was waiting for you to return to the right place internally before it could come back into your life externally. And now that you are returning, now that you are becoming aware again, what was paused is beginning to move. Type 111 if you trust God's timing, because this is not delay, this is alignment catching up to you in the exact moment you are ready to receive it. My child, there were unseen battles that you were never meant to fight directly, things that were handled for you without your awareness, situations that were redirected without your involvement. And this is why some outcomes never reached you. This is why certain connections faded. This is why some opportunities slipped away, not because you were lacking, but because you were being protected from paths that would not have led you where you are now being guided. And now you are beginning to understand, not fully, but enough to trust, enough to move forward without resistance, enough to allow what is next to come without questioning every step. And that is where your strength is returning, not in control, but in trust. Do not go back to the old pattern of ignoring what you feel. Do not silence that inner awareness again, because it is your guidance. It is your protection. It is the voice that keeps you aligned even when everything around you feels uncertain. And now you know what happens when it is ignored. And now you know what happens when it is followed. Type Amen if you receive this truth, because this moment is teaching you something you will carry with you beyond today, beyond this situation, into everything that comes next. And something else is happening, something you may not fully notice yet, but it is relg. There is a shift in your environment, a quiet adjustment in the energy around you, as if things are beginning to reorganize themselves, as if paths are clearing, as if resistance is slowly dissolving. And this is not imagination. This is alignment responding to your awareness. My beloved, before this night moves forward, before the time you were warned about arrives, there is one more thing you must understand. What is coming into your life next will not feel forced. It will not feel confusing. It will not feel uncertain. It will feel clear. It will feel natural. It will feel like something that fits, without struggle. And that is how you will know you are aligned again. Type 777 if you believe something is shifting in your life, because the change has already begun, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. You are not being rushed, you are being guided, and there is a difference. Rushing creates pressure, guidance creates clarity, and what you are experiencing now is clarity returning step by step, thought by thought, realization by realization, and with each moment you stay present. With each moment you listen instead of ignore. You are moving closer to what has been waiting for you. Do not step away, yep, stay here, because what is unfolding is not finished. There is still something being prepared, something being revealed, something that will make even more sense as you continue to listen, as you continue to remain open to what is being shown to you. Because what felt like a warning at the beginning is now becoming confirmation that you are not lost, confirmation that you are still on the path, confirmation that even your mistake was seen, corrected, and redirected before it could become something greater. And that is not rejection, that is care at the highest level. Declare, I receive, in the comments if you accept this shift, because what is happening now is not just a message, it is a turning point. And you are exactly where you need to be right before everything begins to move again.